Welcome back to Afternoon Express this fabulous afternoon. Now, when you go through major obstacles in your life, pursuing your dreams may seem impossible. For Brenda Jean Solomons, her dream of becoming a fashion designer seemed so far-fetched after failing matric. To add on top of that, major challenges in her life forced her to settle for a career in nursing. But after 14 years of being a nurse, her dreams continued to nag her, and she then gathered up the courage to finally pursue a career in fashion. She's now the founder of Forever Grey Fashion Gallery, which specializes in Hessian/burlap cloth infused with different materials like chiffon, leather, satin, lace, to name a few. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So what happened to you? How did you end up being a nurse?
Like you said, I failed matric, and like with my dad, there was no other option. You have to get a job.
Yeah.
So with that, I was devastated.
Yeah.
That was right back in 1991.
Yeah.
I was devastated, and then I decided to let me get a job. And nursing was the only option where you could back in that, early 90s or late 80s, that you could find a job in nursing without matric.
Yeah.
So that is why I went into nursing.
You really wanted to sew up clothes, but you ended up sewing up people instead.
Yes, altogether I have about 23 years of nursing experience, but I ended up at Lenteghe Hospital, and where I worked for about 14 years before resigning and went on to study fashion design.
And what was that moment when you thought, I can't do this anymore, I can't be in this hospital anymore, I need to follow my dream?
I did my matric. I decided to do my matric in between 2013 and 14. And then I told my husband that I would love to pursue this before I'm way too old to do it.
Yes.
Already in my late 40s. So I was thinking, no way, I have to do this before I'm way too old to do it. And that is why I decided to go for my dreams.
And then how did you start? Because I think a lot of people, and this is why you're here, because it's so inspirational, to be in a position where you've been doing something your whole life, you feel so stuck, and then all of a sudden you think, how am I going to flip my life around to be, so how did you do it? Well, how did you find the inspiration, and what was that initial thought behind what you wanted to create for your fashion line?
I always made clothes over the years, doing it part-time while I was still in nursing. I used to make garments for the nurses' kids, for the weddings, the matriculants, over the years. So I've always kept that dream going over the years. So it was when I decided in 2014 that this is it, I'm going into fashion. Nothing is going to stop me. I have my matric now. Eventually, after so many years, I have my matric, so why not? And then I enrolled at the college and went for it.
Beautiful. Well, we're going to have a look at some of your pieces now. But something that I find quite interesting and is the most fascinating thing for me is that your clothes are all inclusive. What does that mean? So you make for able-bodied, non-able-bodied people. Take me through that.
I think why I went for it all-inclusive is the fact that my nursing background. Working a lot for over the many years with the old age. I started out at the old age homes, and then I ended up at Lenteghe Hospital, which is obviously a physically and mentally challenged hospital. So that there already I said to myself, but I would love to dress them. I would love to see them also in these beautiful gowns. So that pushed me.
Amazing. Well, let's have a look and see some of your designs that you've brought today.
That you can see is a burlap skirt, burlap skirt with lace around it. I infused it with lace and satin. And you can see how beautiful burlap looks with, and I lined it as well.
And tell me about your use of the burlap and Hessian.
It's quite comfortable to sew, and because like with instance, that dress, I bought that camouflage fabric. I bought it at a gun shop. So wherever I find fabric,
What on earth were you doing in a gun shop?
No, my husband and I were just going around and, looking for inspiration.
Yeah. Okay.
That piece, I also, like you can see, it's a satin, printed satin skirt with a burlap top.
Yeah.
So, and the detail, I've made sure that it's at the, on the right hand, on the right side, so that she'll be able to, you know, because she's quite comfortable and showing off her right side. There, I took a little bit of inspiration from the Grecian, like I said in my portfolio. It's my garments are not just the African feel or the South African feel, but it's also I draw inspiration from all cultures.
Yeah. I heard that your dad was actually one of your biggest inspirations behind this.
Yes, my dad was, because you know, due to him being, my dad is an alcoholic, and he pushed me. And when it came to me failing matric, he encouraged me to still go for my dreams. He encouraged me to still follow my passion. So eventually, I'm actually glad that I did follow it.
I'm happy so as well. Wow. What would your advice be for people that are stuck in a career that they don't love, that they're not passionate about, that want to fulfill their dream and whatever it may be?
Never stop dreaming, because I believe that once you stop dreaming, you might as well die, because your dreams keep you alive. Like with me, my faith kept me pushing. There was no way that I was going to not do what I would love to do, because I had my family to think of, I have my children to think of, I have my children that looked up to me. So that was my inspiration, that I would love to do this before I'm way too old to do it.
Yeah. Well, you are the perfect afternoon express woman. Thank you for being so brave.
Thank you so much
for
for
following
having
your
me.
dreams. It's very inspirational for all our viewers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.